So the human race has done great stuff. Gone on the moon, gone to Mars, almost touched Jupiter. In the future, we'll do even bigger things like make computers that are better than our own brains. But at the same time, we behave in really funny ways. Yeah, like when we're waiting for the elevator, we keep pressing the button as if that will make the lift come down faster. Or how we pay our plumber more if he takes a longer time, because we associate longer hours with hard work than shorter time with efficiency. We know plastic is bad for the environment, but we keep drinking from these plastic bottles and dump them, obviously without waste segregation. Flying by plane killed 0 people in India last year. Yeah? Whereas 1,46,000 people died in India on the Indian roads, yet we feel scared of flying and not of driving on our roads. Many people don't even wear seatbelts or helmets. TB affects millions of people, yet only a percentage of them complete their medication, reducing the efficacy. You would imagine that doctors are educated people and they would be washing their hands before treating their patients. But behavioral studies have shown that 52% of doctors do not wash their hands, making it more likely for the virus to spread. We think we are very rational people, but we're not as rational. Yeah? Now our instinct to correct these irrationalities is to educate people. We create these awareness-based campaigns in the hope that that campaign will change people's attitude and that attitude will change behavior. Yeah? But these motivational campaigns and agendas and advocacy, they're really, really time-consuming and money-draining. Every time we fly, we're reminded of the safety instructions. Yet in evacuation tests, we do exactly what we're not supposed to do. Yeah? In evacuation tests, you find women with their handbags. That is something I don't know how to change their behavior. Women and their handbags just... So, this is funny now, but in the Emirates case, in the flight of the Dubai emergency, it wasn't funny. Yeah, people were running for their bags instead of running out of the airplane. Maybe one solution is to auto-lock overhead bins, and maybe the sign actually should, the label should say, auto-lock due to emergency, run. Yeah, so even if you take the example of UK, the UK government in the 70s and 80s spent millions on advertising, getting people to wear seat belts. The ad showed people crashing in the windscreen, but that still didn't make people wear seat belts, right? The British scientists, they figured that the British people, 80 to 90% of them in their 80s saw these ads 8 to 9 times, yet people weren't wearing seat belts. Only in 1983, when the law made it compulsory, did people start wearing seat belts. Think about it. Billions of rupees gets wasted in campaigns, motivational campaigns that are aimed at changing behavior, like Swachh Bharat. Even private organizations spend a lot of money in motivating and building campaigns, and building awareness to change consumer and employee behavior, but that's really time-consuming and money-draining. Now, every time we cannot use the law or policy to change human behavior. That's why we believe there is something called behavioral science, which we must adopt to change human behavior and get people to take the desired action. Now, behavioral science is a combination of behavioral economics, cognitive neuroscience, and psychology to get people to take the desired action. Very simply, they're simple, on-time, subtle nudges, yeah? And those nudges are designed to automate human behavior and for it to take place at the moment. We call this behavioral design. To put it simply, I'll give you an example. Bleep is a honk reduction system. Yeah, it's a little red button on the dashboard of the car. When you honk, that red button beeps and flashes, and it breaks the pattern of honking. It makes the driver deliberate whether the honk is required or not. So we did a test, an experiment over 6 months. We put a microchip inside our cars, and we tested a before and after situation among chauffeurs, housewives, office goers. They of course didn't know what the test was, but we had that microchip recording their honks per kilometer. And we figured that on an average, it reduced honking by 61%. in spite of the infrastructure remaining the same, right? So we didn't apply motivational campaigning for years and spend a lot of money. We created a behavioral design nudge that changed the behavior right here, right now. In a second example, we got people to reduce their electricity consumption. Yeah? We told the above average users in the societies that they were consuming a lot more than the average. In short, we told them the neighbors were consuming a lot less, right? And that set the social norm and got them to reduce their power consumption and at no cost. Yeah? So behavioral design is basically about simple, low-cost, scalable nudges that get people to change their behavior and get people to act in the desired manner. There are, of course, lots and lots of examples that you can visit behavioraldesign.com and see for yourselves. It is something that is being applied by the governments of US, UK, a lot of European governments, Singapore, Australia. It is also something that is being applied by Amazon, Facebook, Google, Disney, Intuit. So I think it's time for everyone to not waste their time and money on campaigns and start using behavioral design nudges to change human behavior. Thank you.